Shalom, 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 Yasha'Allah. This your boy, Brother Shem with Allah. Back at you with a quick edifying video. Today's lesson or topic is going to be called The Moon Dictates the Sabbath, right? The moon dictates the Sabbath, right? First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory. I want to say, Halal, Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Rawchaa, Qadash. That's all praises to the Heavenly Father, whose name is Yahawah, and His only begotten Son's name, who you ignorantly call Jesus, whose name is Yahawashi, right? And the Holy Spirit, which is the Rawchaa, Qadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, who have ruled well to the Spirit and have fed and edified the sheep in these last days, and has pushed this gospel and this truth to the four corners of the earth in these last days. A mighty shalom. Another mighty shalom to all you Akim out there laboring on the highways and hedges and on the unicorn, which is this internet, pushing this 100% doctrine, this 100% truth to the four corners of the earth in these last days. A mighty shalom. All right. Reason for today's topic, I was watching Captain Tazaryach. I was watching his live stream. He was going into, a few topics or whatever. I just wanted to hear what he was saying. And, someone called in and asked about the Sabbath, and he basically went in and tried to say that, the moon, that basically the Sabbath was not dictated by the moon, right? And that the moon phases have nothing to do with the Shabbat or the Sabbath, right? And I was like, what? And it was just, you hear that stuff, it's like, man, but I forgot, it's the Friday, Saturday, sundown for, a lot of these Israelites, right? Because they just, the Rawchaa Qadash is not dealing with them, especially in this case right here. The moon dictates the Sabbath, right? The moon is how you know when the Sabbaths are. All right. And I just want to go over a couple of scriptures. I know we brought this out before, but like I said, he talked about it in his live today, and he was basically just like, no, it doesn't do that, going into that, 7 day a week, calendar, type thing. My question, for everybody who does that, and especially stepping from out of there, what happens, say if you're Jacob's trouble and you're running around, no power sources, no nothing, right? How do you know when the Sabbath comes in, right? Are you walking around? It's like one of the vital things that you keep around. Is that going to be your calendar, right? So that you can see, when the when the Sabbath comes in, so you'll know, hey, today is Friday. You put it damn, you start counting the days and doing this different stuff. Are you using a calendar to figure out when the Sabbath comes in, right? This is just my thoughts, right? When the Elohim created the moon and all that stuff, did they just say, hey, well, also we're gonna throw in this calendar right here. Here's a calendar that you're gonna use so you can dictate it. No, man. Right? That's not what it was. So, but like I say, listen, I was, in this, especially with the Friday sundown and Saturday sundown. And, I just couldn't see it. Like, I used to see GMS and Sakari talk about it. I'm like, there's no way, But I had to, fast and pray to Yahawashi to open my eyes to see it, right? And now that, me and my Akim, we follow the lunar Sabbath, right? Or, with the moon, right? Now you can't really see it no other way. Right? It's really, I don't know. It's because it's so plain, when Yahawashi opens your eyes to see it. So let's just get in a couple of script. Matter of fact, let's do this, right? So when you look at the moon cycle, right? And, everyone besides, of course, IUIC knows that the new moon is the dark moon, right? And I believe all of them kind of think that, if I'm not mistaken, right? So when you follow, you know, the lunar, right, the moon phases for the Shabbat, right? You know that the dark moon is the new moon. The new moon starts the new month. All right. So, and when you go in and when you look at it a week later, right, because it goes counterclockwise, right? So you have the new moon, right, that first week, and then what happens? The second week it goes to a first quarter, right? Then that's that so that's the second week. The third week, right, it goes to a full moon, right? And we just had a full moon the last Shabbat, right? So now coming up, what is it? Wednesday night to Thursday night, right, is the Shabbat. Guess what? You're gonna go into that last quarter moon, all right? And then guess what? 7 days from there, right, you're gonna go to the new moon again, and it's gonna be a new month. All right, and it's not a hard thing to do, and you can literally just do by looking at, looking at the moon phase, right? You can see, what what you're in. All right. Let's see. Let's get another one. It's kind of hard to see that one, but it's kind of the same thing, right? So when you look at, when you're looking at these, really, there's the four phases. Each week there's a new phase, right? So you have the new moon, and then in between you'll have the waxing crescent, right? And then so 7 days from the new moon, you'll have that first quarter moon, right? Then in between the week, you'll have the waxing, what is that? Waxing gibbous, right? And then a week from the first quarter moon, you'll have the full moon, right? So the moon phases dictate the Shabbat and lets you know if it said, let's get into some scriptures. So if we know that when we go to the book of, we'll start at the book of Sirach. All right, let's go to the book of Sirach. Right, and understand that the Shabbat is based upon the moon cycle, right? The moon phases. All right. We go to Sirach 43, and let's see where we're at. Let's see, 43 and verse number 6, right? It says the moon and the stars. It says he made the moon also to serve in her season for a declaration of times and a sign of the world, right? So the moon is used, to serve as a declaration of seasons and times, right? And those times, right, we can look at the moon, we can see, you got the full moon, right? You know that you're in that third week, that the first week is the new moon, then you have the quarter, first quarter, then you have the full, then you have the last quarter, then you have the new moon, right? And then each one of those represent a week. That's 4 weeks. That's a month, right? So it says he made the moon also to serve in her season for a declaration of times and the sign of the world, right? You've had lunar eclipses, solar eclipses, you've had blood moons, super moons. You have all these different things, right? So it says from the moon is the sign of the feast, a light that decreaseth in her perfection. Okay. It says the month is called after her name, right? So the word month literally comes from the word moon. So the moon dictates what? The month. How does it? By the phases, by the cycles that it uses, right? And it's 4 weeks, right? And the Shabbat, right, is basically dictated upon when the moon phases are, right? The new moon, guess what? That's the beginning of the month, all right? So it says the month is called after her name, increasing wonderfully in her changing, being an instrument of the armies above, shining in the firmament of heaven. All right. So understanding that the moon dictates, when the Sabbath comes in. All right. Something I wanted to get. I don't want to make this too long. I just want to kind of get to some of the points. Right. Let's go to Isaiah as far as the Shabbat, right? Because that's what he basically was saying, that the moon had nothing to do with the Shabbats, right? Let's go to 66 and let's go to verse number 23, right? And this is a future prophecy, right? This is Isaiah chapter 66 and verse 23, and it says, "And it shall come to pass that from one new moon to another, and from one Sabbath to another, shall all flesh come to worship before me, saith Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi." Right? And I want to get this in the NLT, right? In the NLT, it says, "All humanity will come to worship me from week to week, from month to month." Right? Why? Because the moon dictates the Sabbath, right? The Sabbath is dictated by the phases of the moon to let you know, what week you're in of that month. Right? And it dictates it because it starts it off. How does the new moon starts off the month, but then it doesn't dictate when the Sabbaths are, right? When you can clearly look, and all you have to really do is really that simple. When the new moon comes in, right? You'll wait, right? A week, 7 days. You'll go out, you look at the moon. You're gonna see a first quarter of a moon or half a moon, right? You wait a week, 7 days. You go out, you look at the moon, it's going to be a full moon, right? That dictates when the Shabbat is, right? It's really not that hard and confusing. And really, confusion is that Friday sundown to Saturday sundown. It was funny because I remember when we were teaching it, and we sitting there talking to people like, "Brother, you don't get it? What's 7 days? If the first day is Sunday, what's 7 days from there?" You know what I mean? Just all types of craziness, right? And then literally we had to get a calendar and show people, and people are like, you know what I mean? But guess what? If there's no calendars, right, and you're out here, say you're out here in Jacob's Treadle and you're running around, how you gonna know? How you gonna know what day it is? Right? How you gonna know what day it is? Right? You're not. But guess what? You'll know when the Shabbats are. You'll know by the phases of the moon. You'll be able to dictate and understand when that is, right? Because the moon is used to tell the seasons and the times. All right. So, he definitely went off, on that one where he was just very sure about it when he said it. And I kind of I was like, what? And I had to kind of look at it, but the Shabbat is dictated by the moon and the phases of the moon. All right. It's not, the only time that the Shabbat is Friday sundown to Saturday sundown is when the moon phases dictates that. Otherwise, it's not, right? It's not. That's not, and a lot of that, and I know me and my brother, we can attest to that because a lot of times what it was when we found out, there was a lot of pushback from some of the Akim that we were laboring with, and they were just like, well, I gotta work, and I gotta do this. And we all know we're in captivity. We can only do the best that we can do in our captivity. That's why we have this grace period, So, but understanding what the truth is, right? That's what truly matters. You know the truth, and you try to keep it to the, when the Shabbat is that is dictated upon the moon cycle, and knowing that, you do the best to your ability, right? Most of us all gotta work, right? We can't sit there and tell, Esau at the plantation, hey, listen, I'm gonna need this day and this day off instead of my regular day. I'm gonna need this. We know that we can't do all that, right? We're in captivity, right? But guess what? That should not disannul you from knowing what the truth is, right? And I remember me and Akim were trying to get people to understand that doesn't matter. We know we got to work. We know that we're gonna be, but it's just more convenient for a lot of you Israelites, just to try to keep that Friday, Saturday, Friday sundown, Saturday sundown, right? Because most people get off work and they'll, but we understand that's not what it is, right? And you gotta know the truth, right? Yahawashi said what? Let's get that. And like I said, I'm not gonna make it too long, so let's just get to the point. John 8:32, right? And it says, "And ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free." All right, the truth is gonna make you free. Knowing that, right? Understanding what it is, right? So guess what? If we're out in Jacob's trouble and all hell breaking loose and ain't nobody got a calendar, ain't anybody got this, that, and the other, guess what? We know that we could go to these scriptures and we can go and we can pull up, we can look at the moon and see and let it dictate for us, okay? So I just wanted to do this little tidbit, Lord's will, this was edifying. With that, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory. I want to say, Halal, Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Rawchaa, Qadash, peace and blessings to the elect of the 12 tribes scattered abroad. A mighty shalom to the 144,000 men and to the rest of the elect. Stay diligent, stay focused, keep enduring, keep praying for one another, right? And seek the truth, man. That's why you have to have this 100% truth and nothing else, all right, in these last days. And with that, I want to say, shalom.